Also consider, rather than, this would be a $60,000 savings or something like that. We may find that we may need more savings than that. Perhaps we could investigate an across-the-board reduction as a comparative measure, rather than, one of the things about the way the staff is operated so lean, you get down to so few people, and then if you lose somebody, then it really hurts the operation. I think we should compare the idea of what Cave Creek's done, and look at maybe a 4-day shorter work week.
We have considered that. The budget that you and I will be looking at Thursday morning is a balanced budget with one position. So I think this is the extent of the cuts that we need to make for the following fiscal year and the year after that. So I don't see, ceteris paribus, that we need to make any other changes down the road. One of the things that occurred in the business press over the past number of months is comments about the right way to make cuts. The comments were that you can cut a few individuals, or you can cut across everything, as you suggested. The consensus of the business people, the analysts, the people who write international business, is the best way to make cuts is to take a few people and remove them from the organization. When you make a cut across the organization, as you suggest might be a possibility, that in effect hurts everybody. This limits the hurt.
I don't want to interrupt, but...
Well, you are interrupting, and I'd like you to listen.
I'm not suggesting that we cut the organization. I'm suggesting we research it.
We have, Mr. Neese and I have researched it, and this is a proposal we're making tonight. One of the difficulties in this issue is that we need to discuss the budget in public. And at a certain point, it's going to become apparent to our staff we're talking about affecting their lives. And it seemed the best way to do that, in a large measure, was to do what I've asked Mr. Neese to do tonight, bring this proposal to the council.
I concur completely with Councilman Stavone. We're coming close to a budget, new budget. I think we should retain the marshal until that budget is presented to the council. And I agree with his comments about everybody taking a bite of the sour apple. To single out one individual like we did with the marshal and with the groundskeeper, I am real sorry I voted for that, because that is kind of picking on one individual.
When we're making these decisions, we're looking at, once again, the overall efficiency. There's been a couple things said, doing a cut across the board. Obviously, one thing was said was go to 4-day work week. That's a 20% cut across the board. I guarantee you, as far as affecting, negatively impacting the level of service here, that will negatively impact the level of service here in Carefree. Imagine what will happen when the roads have debris in it, and these guys, we have 4 guys on the street crew that have to commit to other jobs to support their family. A 20% cut would have a negative impact on that level of service. That's just one example of what that will do to the organization. I don't think that's the wisest move. The wisest move is to look at and evaluate how the organization operates. In my year as town administrator, and in my 8 years as the planning and zoning administrator, I think I have a pretty good understanding of the efficiencies within the organization. Once again, this has nothing to do with the performance of Pat Farmer. He's done an excellent job. But as far as this position, it doesn't dictate the need for a full-time position. It doesn't probably dictate a need for a part-time position. We have the internal talent and staff to deal with this issue. I have discussed this with the staff that we have, and the staff that we have can seamlessly implement this and address this issue, so there are no shortcomings. And that's why it's being proposed, is because, in my opinion, that evaluation has occurred. I have looked at the efficiencies of the organization. I have evaluated the efficiency of the organization. And as far as the biggest bang for the buck, and probably maintaining the level of service, I think this is the right thing to do. Now, the right thing to do is also to give Mr. Farmer a severance package similar to what we have done with the other employees in the past. Obviously, with the severance package, his vacation time, his personal leave time, it takes us close to the end of the fiscal year. And I think, you know, that plays into this too, is cutting off that so that we end the position in this fiscal year and we start in the new fiscal year beginning July 1st. So those are some of the thoughts that came into play with this decision. And